My beautiful Scorpios, welcome to your reading for June 2024. This is going to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided, especially Scorpio. Paying attention to your intuition is so important because, you should have a strong intuition. But anyway, some of you may be in love with a Scorpio. I know I have a lot of Scorpio love in my life. Um, Whatever brought you, welcome. I do want to remind you that I'm doing an Archangel series where I'm doing a short video. It's homemade, but I am putting a lot of effort into it. Homemade, but a lot of effort that talks about your archangels and why these archangels are assigned to each sign, each zodiac sign. So I'll connect that at the end of your video because I feel like for you, more than anyone, because you are about transformation, I feel like for many of you, your purpose is to help others on their own spiritual journey. So that tells me that, if I'm going to help others on a spiritual journey, then I probably have been through it. You know what I mean? Like I've been through it. And, but yet your archangels want you to call upon them. When you need help, call upon them. They're there. They're just waiting. So check that out if you choose, if you want. You don't have to. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into your reading, guys. We're going to use 4 different decks. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to go over the spread, over the tarot spread, go deeper. We're going to use Mother Mary for her beautiful words of wisdom, and we'll also do that over the spread. And for June, just like I did for April and May, I decided to use 2 different tarot decks. Really, I'm looking for synchronicities. If it's anything about love, I'm looking for conversations, even if they're like subconscious or telepathic conversations. Because again, you of all people can truly, truly connect. So that means you can also connect, in love, if that's the case. Um, but yeah, so that's why I'm doing that. And what we're going to use is the Universal Tarot, and we're going to use them with the Psychic Tarot. And I have to tell you, they're really 2 different types of decks. But I used them for, I think it was Virgo and Libra. And I just kind of love the messages they brought out. So I'm going to stay with that. So let's go ahead and open up this reading. Scorpio, June. Remember, time is fluid though. June. I feel like many of you have turned a corner. Um, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I've turned the corner on something, and it feels like a good thing. May not have been easy to turn that corner, and I'm not even sure what I'm talking about yet. This is just what I'm feeling. Um, but I feel it was probably so worth it. All right, let's go ahead and bring the lid down. And by the way, just so you know, I read through tarot, yes, but tarot really is what ignites my intuition. I really read through my spirit guides. I'm reading energy, is what I'm doing. So sometimes, I may not say a sign, but I'm thinking of the energy of that sign. All right. Well, I don't really love this for your first card, but I guess as first cards go, this is where I would want it. Nine of Swords, Suffering in Silence. Now, the meaning of this card is unnecessary worry, but I don't know if that takes the worry away. So there is something that is on your mind. And maybe you're not speaking about it. Maybe you should. Often feeling the Nine of Swords, if I don't get this energy out of me in one way or another, whether that just be like writing it down, journaling, you know, maybe write a letter. Doesn't mean it has to be sent. I just feel like I need to get it out of my body. I also feel like it means that there must be some solutions in sight. So you're worrying about something. Now, that can also be the energy of overthinking something, but let's continue. We have solitude. Interesting, two nines back to back, 99. Um, Nines are about reflection. Solitude is the hermit. Card of Virgo, by the way. By the way, I don't know if I gave my daughter a shout out. October 29th. I'm going to give her a shout out. I don't know what just made me think, well, I know why, because she's got a Virgo moon. I find it interesting you have two nines there, right? One suffering in silence, the other the hermit. It tells me that you need to go within, that the answer that you're seeking lies within, that, it's like you already have the wisdom. Um, in this image, it's literally like she's reading through the Akashic records, which, by the way, one of your archangels, one of their jobs is to deal with part of the Akashic records. We have heartache and loss. This is the Three of Swords. And then we have foundation and achievements. Foundation and achievements is mirroring this Nine of Swords. I feel like that's what some of you are worrying about. Could certainly be a commitment. Maybe someone didn't give you the commitment that you were hoping for. Listen, I feel like if that's the case, maybe, and I know this is easier said than done, but maybe it was better that way. And I also find it interesting because I feel like as I look at the hermit, I'm thinking about you and I'm thinking about the spiritual wisdom that you already possess. But I feel like it's also about lifetimes. Two nines in a row certainly makes me think of, like an old soul. Doesn't mean you're old. It means your soul has been here, done this, has overcome. And maybe that's what you're doing, like you're pulling on your higher self. Some of you, maybe you're going to your archangels, like why not? All right, well, let's keep going. So, not the greatest line to open up with, but usually the beginning is talking about what was. Whoa, okay, that's a lot of cards. I feel like I don't feel like taking them. Matter of fact, I know why I didn't feel like taking them because I want to bring the tarot, the Universal Tarot into the reading, and that was literally like half my deck. That was a human error. All right, so let's bring in the Universal Tarot, introduce it into your reading. We have the Devil, part of Capricorn. It's interesting because, first of all, if you look at this image, I talk about this image all the time because I do feel like it's like the devil's influence over these lovers. Maybe keeping them apart. But there's some type of illusionary energy I feel. But it's not truth. Let's just put it that way. Some of you, of course, it could literally mean a Capricorn. Let's keep going. We have the Magician. We have the Five of Swords. Okay. So, in a way, I feel like this has given me confirmation of what I said earlier, where I feel like, there could have been someone that maybe potentially I wanted a commitment from. Maybe I didn't get it. But listen, I feel like, but maybe in a way, maybe it's best that you didn't. And I know I keep saying maybe, um, but I'm doing that to be gentle. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like that. I feel like, I'm not sure if it would have served me. And I say that because we also have the Five of Swords. So that does mean that there's some like toxic type energy. It can be your thought system. I want to say that with suffering in silence. Like you may not see a way out. Maybe you need to feel a way out. Especially with the magician right beside it. It is the five, so it is change. But I feel like, yes, we're the ones who have to make that change. And literally, what I'm looking at in my life, maybe that's where the hermit comes in also. Like, because I'm going within and, maybe I'm seeing some patterns within my own life. Um, and, Scorpio, sometimes I feel like you'd rather have any love than no love. And I know that's not for everyone. But at the same breath, I feel like you deserve the highest type of love, right? Because you're able to give it. You do have intense emotions though, but that's no excuse. Like I feel like if someone like broke your heart, if someone maybe didn't make the commitment you had hoped for, but in the long run, I feel like your guides are like, but you'll see that potentially maybe this wasn't the one anyway. All right, let's finish out this round. Well, that didn't take long. All right, we have the Queen of Swords. It's like I have found my voice. We have the Ten of Wands mirroring the Devil. We have Judgment. It's your spiritual team. It's almost like saying, okay, these nines that we open with, time, time to move on. Judgment calls you to the present moment because signs are going to be sent to you. Guidance. It is about a rebirth. Um, I do feel like your spirit guides are pointing out that Nine of Swords. Again, a lot of worry. And, I'm sure there's reason to worry, but I also feel like in the same breath, like there's solutions. And it's the solutions, or maybe like being proactive in the solutions that bring me, you know, this potential rebirth. And it is following the Ten of Wands. So it is a period of time where it's like everything is on your shoulders, and if this is anything about love, then same thing. Like, someone didn't make a commitment to you, but yet you tend to give like you're the giver and the giver and the giver. I feel like you're only going to do that for so long. And I feel like for some of you, you're at that state. It's like this Queen of Swords is like, I found my voice again, and I love this image because it's like she makes a statement and then she does that mic drop. Like it literally looks like, if there was a mic in her hand, like she is like, mic drop, found my voice, had enough, no more, no more. Any dark influence over you now turns light. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. Well, that makes sense because I guess you do have to allow, right? You do have to allow. And I also want to say, with Judgment in the same line of suffering and silence, it's like your spiritual team knows that, right? But then I feel like it's your spiritual team that's saying that you already possess at least the knowledge, the wisdom that you need maybe to make these changes, maybe to make a change at least. You know, that Five of Swords, you are making a change, and right now it's in the middle of your reading. Um, but the change that you're making in that energy is I literally feel like you're just saying no more. Like I'm gonna have the final word. Mic drop. Now, Judgment. Again, your spiritual team calling you to the present moment. Why? Because you also are manifesting. And it's interesting how the magician is really in between suffering in silence or the hermit. Like, which energy do I want to pull on? Which energy do I want to manifest from? Even if I don't have like all the solutions in front of me, maybe I'm trusting that they will find me. I will find it, whatever it is I need, to, I feel like, be happy again. And I'm not saying that you're miserable, but I feel like there are some things that's coming in between you and your true happiness, let's say. And I kind of like the Two of Pentacles following Judgment because, you know, again, if I'm not like in completely like the energy of completely trusting myself, or completely trusting the signs, then the Two of Pentacles, you know, first of all, again, it puts the ball in your court. You can say yay or nay to whatever Judgment is talking about a rebirth in. But I feel like they're also pointing out to you that you're in a manifesting stage. So you want to think about your energy, right? Because I have a feeling like you've been manifesting, but there may still be like a few little things. Listen, suffering in silence with the Three of Swords, and then um the Four of Wands, it's like if someone is not willing to make that commitment to you, then you just need to make a commitment to yourself. Like, make a commitment that you're going to live your best life, right? That you're going to trust in yourself, in your wisdom, that ultimately I do feel like you're claiming your voice. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you, like, you use these very lessons to help others along the way. But let's keep going. Well, let's bring the psychic tarot back in. Actually, let's move these up, give ourselves room. All right. Oh, all right. Eight of Swords. Well, I guess the good news is we've come down from the Nine of Swords to the Eight of Swords, but it's coming under the Five of Swords. Some of you may be a little fearful of making a change, but yet maybe you know you need it anyway. Eight of Swords is a self created prison. And listen, if there's anything to do about love, maybe you are trying to protect your heart. Maybe you have every right to do that. But I feel like with Judgment here, it's also pointing out that, you know, how can your blessings find you when, you know, you're locked away in this prison? And why do we create this energy? We're trying to protect ourselves, right? We don't want any more heartache. We don't want any more loss. So I built this wall around me. And a human condition. Because your spiritual being would be like, no, I'm going to keep my spiritual ears on, my spiritual eyes open. And I know that in that energy, that's how I measure what's good, what's maybe not so good. We have rejoice and celebration. Okay. I feel like that's good news because, again, judgment's opening up this line that's talking about a rebirth, right? But calling you to the present moment, telling you that eventually this is something you're going to celebrate. But I feel like in your time, and why do I say your time? Because I feel like there's some energy you need to clear. Again, that Five of Swords, it can be another person, who's carrying toxic energy. It can be a lot of people, or it can even be your own thoughts, or all the above. But what it's saying is that energy has turned toxic to you, and your ability to, well, he's looking right back at the magician, like your ability to manifest. And it's not that you like, I feel like we can always manifest. It's just what energy am I going to choose? I think some of you are a little nervous about making a change. Listen, change is hard, but sometimes it's exactly what we need. All right, let's keep going. Well, hello, Ace of Pentacles. Mirroring judgment. Beautiful. Prosperity begins. It's like if you've been putting a lot of effort into something, and for some of you, that might be with that Nine of Swords. Am I ever going to see the fruits of my labor? Well, here's judgment saying, yes, my dear, you will. You want to nurture this ace. I think of it as a seed. If you merely look at it, it's like there's the root ball, right? But it's like there's two hands that are nurturing this one seed. And this seed really is a promise of something that comes into your physical world that really enhances it. I mean, it literally says prosperity begins. I feel some of you have been working hard, but not seeing a lot from it. But now, this may be the time when you really start seeing like the fruits of your labor. This is meant for you. And now when we look right in the middle, we have that Five of Swords, but it's connected to that Eight of Swords. It's kind of giving you a clue. Um, I see every reason why I would probably take on that energy of the Nine of Swords. I feel like I know why that Five of Swords exist. And I also feel like, for some of you, I feel like, you feel like you've been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And maybe I've been like trusting and hoping that someone else would help take some of this weight away from me. But I feel like maybe that didn't happen, but your spiritual team is like, well, we're here. We're going to help you. It's like you put a lot of effort into something. And, it's almost like maybe the whole world didn't believe in you, but your spirit guides believed in you every step of the way. When they see the Eight of Swords, they know it's human made. And they also know that they can't intervene there because it's a self created prison. That means the only one who can really uncreate it is the one who created it to start with, and that would be you. Eight to me does speak about self. But it also speaks about a new beginning. So you have a five, which is a change. And I feel like that's what's hard. It's like the change, but maybe it's just temporarily. And again, I feel like, if I've been letting people like cut me down, put me down, tell me I can't, tell me I won't be successful. This is you needing to trust in yourself, you know, because I feel like people who would say those type of things, I feel like they're very limited within their thought system. You know what I mean? I feel like they can't be very spiritual, number one. And listen, not everyone has to be on a spiritual journey, but I do feel like you are. And I feel like if this is relating to, I feel like it's relating to a couple different things, but let's say it's relating to love in the beginning up here. Um, Man, I just feel like, in a way, I feel like the universe is kind of saving you. And I also feel like I have to not get pulled into, other people. Like if someone's speaking like hurtful words, I can't take it on. I got to find a way not to take it on because again, sometimes I merely need to look at the source. The source who's telling me that I won't be successful. Well, who are you? Who are they to say that? I feel like what you're learning here, Scorpio, is how to really trust yourself. Not only trust yourself, but trust the signs. Like you do not have to go this alone. Sometimes you feel like you're alone. But again, it's like your spiritual team. I've been here every step of the way. There's certain energy I cannot help you with. You need to help yourself in the Eight of Swords. But again, that Eight of Swords is tied back to that Five of Swords. So whoever or whatever those swords mean to you, and again, it's some form of toxicity. It's also connected to that Three of Swords. So I get it, but at the same time, I feel like I gotta cut those ties. Like it's almost like you get the final word and then let it be the final word. You may be giving someone the final word, and then that's that. Mic drop. And then this queen moves right into the Three of Cups. First of all, I feel like she's kind of celebrating herself. It's almost like someone who broke my heart. It's not that I'm giving them a piece of my mind, but I am saying what I need to say, right? So I can clear it from me, get it out of me. And I don't even care. Like, I get this feeling like I don't even care how you accept what I say. I'm saying it because I need to say it. And then mic drop. All right, so let's look at the bottom of the decks. Oh my. Ace of Cups, love begins. Look at this. The Ten of Pentacles on the bottom of this deck. Not only does it say love begins, let's look under it. Firm foundation. Let's look under the Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot. Wow. Well, that really is unlimited abundance. And interesting because you have the Ten of Pentacles, but we start with the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like it's showing you how quickly you can grow your money. Trust your abilities. Some of you may be getting good news that's relating to your money. You know what I mean? Like a raise. Definitely something to celebrate. I definitely feel like you're celebrating this ace. And maybe by the time we get to this part of the reading, you understand the blessing within this ace. Because I don't feel like this is a one time thing. I feel like this ace can just grow And don't forget what's under the Ten of Pentacles? The Chariot. Unlimited potential with this ace. How far do you want to take it? You know, and I love that it's mirroring Judgment. It's going to be a rebirth, baby. And man, do I feel like you need it. Whether you want it or not, I feel like you need it. Now, when I say whether you want it or not, I feel like part of you must want it. All right, let's leave that there. And let's go ahead and bring in the Gilded Tarot and let's go deeper. Let's figure out who broke your heart. You know, sometimes it's simply life. Life broke my heart. Just one thing after another broke my heart. One fire I put out, another fire begins. That broke my heart. But I feel like as I say all that, those are the things I need to reflect on. Like if I'm putting out fire after fire, whose fires am I putting out? And if I put that fire out and then it begins again, are they learning anything? Like, why am I putting their fire out only for that fire to start up again? You know? It's like, I think I'm coming to that realization. Like, I keep putting other people's fires out. But maybe now, this period of time in your life is really about you. You know, you have the reflection of your higher self, of your whole spiritual team, but also of your past lives, the wisdom, you know, and your spiritual being would say to you, we've been here before, my dear. You know, and many of us have been here. You know, I mean this just feels like life to me. You know, like some of the hardships of life, but yet also the blessings. All right. Get my deck upside down. Let's turn it in the upright. Introduce them into the reading. And we're going to start at the beginning, but we're going to read it as a whole. So I am curious to look at these nines. Look at that. Knock Judgment right out of there. We have the Four of Cups. Now, it did show in reverse. And I am reading reversals today. I know that confuses some people. Like, what do you mean today? Well, you know, I always talk to my guides before I start reading, and I make it clear, like, um, you know, if I'm feeling a certain energy, if they're making me feel a certain way, then I'll ask for certain cards to come out just to confirm, you know, because, you know, to give me confirmation. What am I looking at? Um, anyways, today I said I was going to read reversals. So we have the Four of Cups here. Four of Cups can certainly talk about discontentment and boredom in one's life. But the meaning of the card is using one's spiritual discernment. Now, there is a cup this person is being offered, and that's why they need to use their spiritual discernment. And I find it interesting because on the psychic tarot, you have the Ace of Cups. So literally, it's like there is that cup, but it's in reversal. I feel like maybe I'm not trusting my spiritual discernment. Well, let's keep going. Let's figure this out. We have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Swords. Over that, Three of Swords. Queen of Swords. Over foundation and achievements. Hello, lovers. Over the devil. How interesting, because again, I feel like the devil's influencing these lovers, but now we have the lovers out in the light. No dark influence over them. It's almost like being spiritually connected to someone. And listen, maybe this someone has not entered my life yet. I get a feeling now I know at least some of these swords um, are talking about previous love. And I say that mainly because the Seven of Swords comes over the Three of Swords. So you definitely dealt with someone who carried untrustworthy energy. But I feel like you're getting the final word. You're getting the final say so over this. Um, I don't feel like this is who is in that Ace of Cups. There's just no way. I don't feel that. Because again, I feel like this five and these nines, because remember, nines are about final reflection, right? I do want to reflect back. I do want to understand my journey. I do want to know, what did I give away? Did I give my voice away? Did I give myself away? I want to reclaim that power, right? And the only way I can reclaim it is to understand where I've been. It's not to get lost within it, it's just focus upon it. And for some of you, it's like that Nine of Swords. You want to focus upon it. But I kind of get it, right? Untrustworthy energy. This is a thief in the night. Yet at the same time, I feel like you are getting the final word. And again, the Queen of Swords now coming over foundation achievements. Then the Lovers. Look at this, the Eight of Wands, fast moving energy. Also, what I think about, I bring about. Hmm. You know, the Lovers, first of all, it's a card of Gemini. Um, and it is a head over heart decision. With the Four of Cups above that, right? Using your spiritual discernment, whether, something is good or not, whether something's going to enhance your life or not. Um, and you can only know what you can know, right? At the beginning. It's not about like, I need to know, let's say this is talking about with the Lovers, like a new love coming in. We do have the Ace of Cups again, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. It's interesting because it feels like you're kind of switching houses. The Ten of Wands, like all the responsibility on my shoulders. It's almost like too much, too much, too much. But then the Ace of Pentacles mirrored by Judgment is like, but we're going to help you, right? But there's certain energy that you need to think about. Again, that Eight of Swords, that Nine of Swords. Um, and sometimes we give people who do not deserve our time too much time. Like, maybe they'll turn around. Maybe they'll become better. Maybe they'll start themselves having, live within their spiritual selves. Maybe, 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 right? But I feel like, I just feel like you're not waiting anymore. Now, that's speaking about love. But I feel like there's different things going on because I feel like there's different influences around you. It's almost like a test. Like, can you get through it? Can you overcome that obstacle? And then you do. And boom, it's like a reason to celebrate. First of all, celebrating yourself, but I also feel like your spiritual team is like, we're right here with you. All right. Can I manifest not such great energy back? Yeah. Yeah, you can. That's why you really need to understand this, right? And again, like, if there's someone of your past that you really do want back in your life, then you just want to make sure whatever broke you up, like what broke us up? And how has that changed? Has someone evolved? Have I evolved? And if that's the case, like if we both evolved, then I say go for it. But know that, right? Like because, sometimes people do come out of the woodwork, especially if this is talking about new love. Sometimes people come out of the woodwork who it's like, wait a minute, you didn't want me then. Now that someone else has introduced himself into my life, now you want me? Hmm. 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 Now that this Ace of Pentacles is starting to blossom, you want to come back in my life? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm not eliminating everyone from the past because some people do evolve. Some people do have these spiritual awakenings all on their own. You know what I mean? And I feel like, listen, when you look at the lovers, I feel like that's a certain type of energy, um, a certain type of vibration, let's say. And I don't feel like it really matches what's up here. All right, let's keep going. Look at this. Ten of Wands now in reverse. Perfect. Perfect. It's like you're saying, I am not taking it anymore. If you're against me, get behind me. If you're for me, stand beside me. This Ace of Pentacles is certainly going to help. I feel like it's going to help alleviate some issues. I feel like it may even give you a way out. I definitely now am feeling you're reclaiming your power. Like I almost can't wait to like look at the Eight of Swords now because I feel like things are changing. Like we're changing. It's like you've been raining on my parade for too long. We have the Nine of Wands. I feel like in the Nine of Wands, ultimately, this person is looking back at their life, but they're looking back and they're trying to understand themselves within different, let's just say the last chapter, because nines normally to me speak about chapters, right? The last chapter. Now, could be every chapter of my life, but in the Nine of Wands, I'm really looking at my own responsibility within, and that can just simply mean like I gave someone too much time, even though like they showed me who they were, right? But I'm not doing that anymore, right? I put everything on my shoulders. But listen, this isn't to judge you. This is so you can really learn about who you are on a spiritual level. Because I feel like this person, when they emerge from that Nine of Wands, they are a spirit warrior. And good luck. And no wonder I feel like the Queen underneath is doing the mic drop because I feel like once that reflection is had, and I understand how strong I really am, that I'm not just this human being, that I am a spiritual being having human experiences. And these human experiences are meant to teach me. And yeah, some of them can bring you down to your knees, but it's about coming back from them. It's like coming back from the ashes. I feel a sense of power. in this reading, where in the beginning I felt like the power was taken away. I feel like you're reclaiming it, but I feel like you're reclaiming it in really in all areas of your life. It's almost like the energy of once I've done this type of reflection, no one can tell me lies about myself. Like you can tell me that, I'm not good enough for this or what have you, but now you know better, right? Now you're so much closer to your spiritual team. Now you've reclaimed your own voice. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what mirrors the lovers. King of Cups. And then the devil again. Some of you are literally dealing with Capricorn. And I would say if that's the case, then, well, let me just put it this way. I feel like many of you have dealt with, let's just say, love that has not been in the highest of realms. Let's just say love that has kind of broken your heart, that has like taken your trust away from pure love. But I also feel like it's due to where someone's energy was at. It's like not your fault. It's if I'm going to put blame on anyone, I feel like it's their fault. Now, their fault, but in the same time, like somewhere along the road, along the way, I've got to accept, like what I've given away also. But I feel like all that is changing. And I also love the King of Cups here because to me, that would be your counterpart. That means to me that this would be someone who will easily express their emotions instead of holding them back. I don't have to wait and wonder. It just is an automatic, like, can't help but show you. Maybe who's ever in this devil's energy, maybe they have had somewhat of a spiritual awakening. All right, well, let's keep going. All right, judgment. Tell me more. Tell me more. All right, well, I guess there's a lot to be told. We have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so why would judgment be calling you to the present moment? Why would they tell you there's about to be a rebirth? And then the Knight of Swords comes out. This knight is about communication, truth, integrity. And I feel like all of that. Otherwise, I don't feel like judgment would bring this knight out. This could certainly be some type of communications come in. Listen, it could be love, or it could be about money, or it could be about both. The sun, cardinal or the ruler of Leo, but this is illumination. This is feeling like it's a brand new day. This is getting up in the morning and putting your music on and dancing and drinking your coffee, starting the day off in playful type energy. This type of energy, I feel like good luck anyone who comes towards you in any way who is of a low, let's just say a lower vibration. The sun will illuminate that for you. And I like that it's coming over the Two of Pentacles because you are making a decision. And the sun's going to help you illuminate that. Chariot made its way out over the Eight of Swords. It's literally like you break free from that prison and you are free. Not only are you free, but there's really no limit on how far this eight, well, you have two aces, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. How far can they go? Well, we have the Ten of Pentacles, so we know this Ace of Pentacles can go the whole way. Chariot is also about finding balance within oneself. Now, you could also talk about a relationship, though. Two, like the masculine and feminine, both finding balance, right? Balance of the light and dark within ourselves, but maybe even within a relationship. Um, because I feel like the chariot can't come in until the right time. And why is that? Because I feel like the chariot, let's say that I don't break free from this Eight of Swords, then I feel like the chariot stays parked. But I don't know how that could be with the sun right there. I mean, you have beautiful energy right here. Another way of saying that is potential. A lot of potential to really, I don't know, I feel like to enjoy life. Oh, we got more cards. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Hermit over the Ace of Pentacles. So some of you, if you have a spiritually based business, or listen, you don't have to have a spiritual based business. It just means that you're using your wisdom in whatever it is that you do. I kind of love that the Hermit's over that Ace of Pentacles. It's deep knowledge, deep wisdom. And sometimes I don't know that until it's time to know that. We have Justice, card of Libra, the Fool. All right, so Justice definitely feels like cutting us some type of ties. And why do I want to cut these ties? Because if I don't, my life feels unbalanced. And in an unbalanced life, there's no way the chariot again can move. It'll stay parked. But it's only waiting for one thing, and that's the Fool's energy. So, yes, your past has a lot to do with who you are today. And yes, reflection was probably needed. But I feel like this is being very clear. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely someone's energy that was untrustworthy. And I kind of feel like, listen, let's just say that you still want that energy. Then I would say, like, there better be some big changes within that person. Sometimes the Seven of Swords comes from like a lack mentality. Like, I didn't have enough, so I take more than I need. I grew up and there wasn't enough food, so I hoard food type of, and I'm just using it as an example. But literally, justice, balance. Justice is about making you whole again, by the way. But it is signifying that there are certain ties that need to be cut. And when you cut those ties, then it automatically rebalances. Like, especially so close to your spiritual team, like it'll automatically rebalance itself. And the sun right over it. And what does that allow? That allows you to jump into the Fool's energy. And the Fool is in the present moment, but willing and able to take a leap of faith in whatever is next. And it does signify something new, right? But I have to be willing to take a leap of faith. that Eight of Swords. But I don't feel like that. I feel like that Eight of Swords can certainly be uncreated. Of course it can. Queen of Wands, Queen of Action, Queen of Movement. This is someone who definitely follows her passions, her desires. Well, hello, Star. I'm going to slide these all over. This is about your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. But this is about manifesting them. This is about working hand in hand with divine to bring about these aces, bring about fool's energy, to be able to be in the fool's energy, right? I got to cut ties. Well, I know what the ties are, you know, because of this Seven of Swords and this heartache. I feel like it leaves you, at least for a moment, in a state of, let's just say, confusion, worry, that type of thing. But yet, here is your higher self, like coming to the table. Anyway, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And well, I was gonna say let's take one more, but it's already out. Look at this. Victory. This is the energy of being victorious. And it's falling over the Ace of Pentacles. Hmm. I feel like there's a lot of information on the board right now. You know, it's interesting because we have the lovers, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have Judgment, which all really speak about a new beginning. So I feel like this is not old love. Now, it may be an old love from an old lifetime. Could be, I mean, it could be past love in this lifetime. But again, I feel like it doesn't feel like it would be this person unless they have done a hell of a lot of changing, a hell of a lot of realizations. And we do have the Five of Cups down here, so I could see, I could see where, listen, just because someone doesn't love me right doesn't mean I don't still love them. But then I got to look at that, right? If it's not going to work in my favor, then I don't want to keep feeding it. Because if I keep feeding it, it'll just keep, the energy just feels like it'll just go round and round and round. This five, what you got to be careful about in the Five of Cups is you don't go into the energy as woe is me, even if you have every reason. Because the truth is, when this person changes that energy, stops thinking about like woe is me, and starts thinking about, you know what, I have a lot of potential. I have a lot to offer. And yes, one person didn't appreciate that. Maybe more than one person. But that doesn't mean someone of your future won't. Because when this person changes that energy, and again, it just means that I'm starting to look forward. I'm not going to look back. What do they find? Two cups. Two cups that are behind them. They don't even know it. Probably don't even feel it. And yes, some of you may be wishing for that person back, and that is your prerogative. But man, I don't feel like it would serve you. You know, this is victorious energy, and I love that it's coming over the Ace of Pentacles because a few different things. First of all, I feel like this is when people are really looking up to you, listening to you. Again, whether you, whatever, whatever this Ace of Pentacles may be, I do feel like it's relating to like your work. But this is an energy where, people are respecting what you do. If I talk about past experiences, it's only to help someone else so they can overcome. Even if I don't have a spiritual based business, it's just naturally who you are. It feels pretty simple. Like judgment is saying, yes, reflect upon the past, but understand how you yourself have grown. I feel like, understand this worry and I don't know. I feel like we just got to learn that these nines mean final reflection, so we don't stay in them too long. When we reflect, it's really to see how we have grown, right? When we reflect, if something comes towards us again that is, let's say, of untrustworthy energy, it'd be very hard if I've reflected and didn't create this prison, it'd be very hard for that type of energy to like reintroduce itself into my life. It's almost like your spiritual team is like we may try to block that as much as we can. But here's this Knight of Swords connected to the lovers with Judgment saying there's about to be a rebirth, mirroring that Ace of Pentacles. So I know it's not just about your love, though we do have the Ace of Cups, so I feel like it's also talking about love, but it's also talking about your money. It's like you've been through a very hard time up here, and now everything is changing. Why is it changing? Because you're allowing it to change. Because you're breaking free of limited ideas. You're breaking free of what other people have told you, right? You're looking at that source and be like, wait a minute, who the hell are you? I feel like, especially if you break yourself free from that Eight of Swords, to me, that's tremendous. And it feels like, and then that chariot really has unlimited potential. And it's talking about your life, like unlimited potential in your life. Now, I may pray for certain things, right? But I want to kind of give away of exactly how it must show and trust in divine, trust within my guides. You know, you have some dreams being answered here. It does require you to take on the Fool's energy, and that does mean putting the past in the past. Listen, you still have the wisdom of your experiences. It's not about forgetting the past. It's no longer living in the past. And then you have the Fool, and I like that. To me, that means that this feels like a very playful time, a very enlightened time, like a time of real growth, where up here everything felt very limited. Now I feel free. Like I feel free to be me. And I feel like not only that, other people see you for who you are. Like the people that are going to be introduced into your life, like they're going to love you for who you are. All right. I just want to look at the Knight of Swords, the judgment is bringing out. And I just want to know a little bit more about that. I don't want to overread it, but I do want to look at that. All right. First, we get the Seven of Wands. And then we have the magician. Seven of Wands talks about standing your ground. But I also got to know, like, when is the time for me, again, to be like, okay, done putting out these fires. All right. So, and then you have the magician. So I want to follow that for a second. Not the first time we've seen the magician, by the way. And that makes sense because we have two aces, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So it makes sense that we'd have two magicians. All right. Anything else want to come out about that? With the Fool so close to the magician, if we remember that the magician is really the Fool's first mentor along this journey, the magician teaches the Fool that you already possess everything you need to be truly successful on this journey. This Knight of Swords could certainly be unexpected, yet here it is. Look at that. Tower in reverse. The Three of Pentacles. Judgment again. Makes me feel like, okay, your spiritual team is not the only team that is trying to get through to someone. The synchronicity is first and foremost. The reversal of the tower. I got nothing to fear with these lovers. I have nothing to fear. If I think it's going to be a tower, then maybe it will be, right? But I feel like at this point I understand that. Like I'm understanding things a lot better. I feel like you may have similarities with this person, but I also love the Three of Pentacles came out because to me that means this is about someone who sees your uniqueness, appreciates your uniqueness. May not even know about him yet, but I feel like they're like-minded souls. Again, why do I appreciate what you do? Because you're good at it. But I also see and feel your soul. Ten of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and then the Three of Wands. Okay, so I feel like the Ten of Swords, I said Ten of Pentacles, but I meant swords, with the Page of Wands, it's literally to me saying that some of these swords, right, these repeat, it could be repeat patterns, like a repeat pattern with someone. But yet you keep getting the same swords over and over again. To me, it feels like it was meant to be a learning experience. Listen, so close to judgment, I mean justice, it could have been karmic. Whatever it was, it's about learning, right? And I do feel like it's pointing out, like, maybe I've given someone quite a few chances, but every time I end up with all the swords in my back. Okay, well, I gotta learn that. I gotta know that. I gotta see it for what it is. Because do I want to end up in the Ten of Swords again? No way. And I feel like that's what this tower in reverse is really talking about, right? It's like when my energy changes, when I evolve, so does everything else in my life. And the things that don't have a tendency to want to fall away. Our problem sometimes is we catch them before they fall away. Sometimes we just gotta let it fall away. Because I feel like that's a signal to the universe. Okay, I'm open and ready for what is next, right? But I'm also being proactive. I have a feeling your spiritual team already knows who your next lover is going to be. But I also feel tremendous growth in your money. Like, I feel like I do not want to put a limit on this because that's what the chariot is saying. It's like once you break yourself free, then there is no limit. Like, maybe I needed to go through all this difficult energy, so now I know what I want my life to look like. I know who I want in my life and who I don't. And that's the energy I'm going to start working towards as the foal, right? I'm going to take these leaps. I'm going to trust my guides. I'm going to trust the signs. And if I don't recognize the sign, I'm going to ask for that sign again. And then the Queen of Wands over the Eight of Swords makes a lot of sense because this Queen of Wands would not create the Eight of Swords. She moves, she doesn't think of fear. She's not a fear-based type of energy. I move according to my desires. Now, sometimes, of course, that can get me in trouble, right? Because I do it first, think about it later. It's almost like what's that saying where it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission? I get that. Okay, what a reading. Um, I feel like I just want to take a card. Look at that, over the ace, and we get the Eight of Cups. So, to me, that's good news because that means that you have looked within your emotional house. You are finding clarity. You are walking away from the things that just, have broken down one way or another. The person in the Eight of Cups is heading towards the Nine of Cups, which is about inner harmony. And that really is the only thing that's missing here, is finding that inner harmony. And that may be part of what this journey has been about. But listen, it definitely also signifies to me that chances are that I've walked away from someone or certain type of energy. And then the Ace of Pentacles or the Ace of Cups, as it says, love begins. Well, I know it's talking about the lovers because it's literally showing us you walking away from that energy. Let's look at the Ten of Pentacles. Look at this. The Eight of Pentacles. Perfect. Listen, I may not have the Ten of Pentacles yet, but I know that I can reach it. I know it. I feel it. Spiritual team is it. They want you to feel it. They want you to feel the potential of this abundance. And if I worry, am I on the right path? Will this path I'm on, will it make me self-efficient? The answer is yes. But the Eight of Pentacles says as long as you're willing to put your focus on that, on your pentacles, they'll only grow and grow and grow. And by the way, the Eight of Pentacles to me also represents I don't know everything I need to know, or at least everything I think that I need to know. But this is the energy of learning as you go. And it feels like that's exactly how it's meant to be. Like you do have all this wisdom, right? And I feel like there's a lot of elements in this Eight of Pentacles you already possess. And now it's just like really putting them to action. But if you question, like, am I on the right path as it relates to my pentacles? The answer feels like yes, yes, yes. Will I be abundant? If you're willing to put the work in, you will see the fruits of your labor. Prosperity begins, ultimately ending in the Ten of Pentacles, the house of abundance. All right, let's go ahead and bring out Mother Mary. Cards, cards, everywhere there's cards. All right, Mother Mary, for my beautiful Scorpios, words of wisdom, please, to help them along their path, their difficulties, and their blessings, to recognize their blessings. What say you, Mother Mary? She says a lot. All right, I don't refuse Mother Mary cards. Family, family. I pray for my family and give this situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. Well, I'm sure that has a lot to do with the Nine of Swords. But I'm giving this situation over to God for answers. Here's your spiritual team providing the answers, support, and healing. Sobriety. My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. Well, that's how I can even guarantee myself even more success, right? The clearer my mind, the clearer the signs. We have mercy. I am kind and thoughtful towards myself and others. And yes, you are. We have action. It's like those nines, that reflection time coming to an end. You're ready. Today, I take actions. Today, I take action related to the priorities that I have previously put off. Action. Oh my gosh. And then look at this signs. Sign, sign, everywhere, sign. I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continuously sends. You know, again, we got to remember we weren't just thrown into this lifetime. We have a whole spiritual team on our side. Our archangels, our angels, our spirit guides, God, Mother Mary, Jesus. We have so much divine energy on our side. And they are like part of their responsibility is to help guide us. And that is through signs. And signs can mean, can come in a million different ways. But when you notice one, claim it. Like, I do it all the time. Like when I see a sign, I'm like, okay, I see you. Because I want them to keep coming. Not that they don't keep coming, but I feel like the more I recognize them, the more I see them. So, action, but then to ease your mind, signs. All right. I'm going to leave it there. Um, I thank you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope very quickly you're moving out of these nines, out of that eight of swords, away from that seven of swords, and you're moving into what feels like a much more abundant and loving type life. Again, I feel like it's like mic drop. Like you have the last word and then you drop in that mic and that is good enough for your guides. Like I feel like that is being celebrated in heaven. So celebrate yourself also, even if nobody else does. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you. I was going to do this live, but we're still under that, threats of heavy rains and that. And I was worried, I'm worried I'm going to get kicked offline. Um, and tomorrow I'll probably take off, but then I think, what is today? Tuesday, I'll probably do lives. So, keep your eyes and ears open for that. And when I say lives, it just means where we go on and you can ask me any questions. And I use the cards, but I also pull on our spiritual team. Why wouldn't I? Um, really to bring you the most clarity as possible. So Tuesday, yeah, I think Tuesday. Anyways, make sure you have that bell rung because if you don't, you chances are you're gonna miss the notification. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you. Don't forget to check out your short little movie. It's short about your archangels because I feel like that's going to help you also. You can give a name to them. Not that you have to, but I just feel like that's going to help you even feel closer to them. And it's interesting as I do these readings or as I do these short movies of our archangels, it just all makes sense to me. Like as I'm going through them, it's like, yeah, yep. So, anyways, I love you guys. I will see you either next time at our table or at the lives. Have a great month, guys. Um, my prayer is that this abundance in all its beautiful forms find you right where you're at. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.